Oh, and we're recording this from two separate locations.
I'm in Costa Rica right now.
She's hot and it's actually snowing here in Calgary, Alberta. I have a little blanket on my lap and so I'm super cozy right now.
But I feel like we're always in different climates anyways.
Yeah, that's true. South Carolina climate is totally different. It's humid and here it's actually so dry. If you don't have lip chap, it's over. It's done.
That's what's so crazy to me. I thought the cold air would be good for your skin and rejuvenating.
Oh, my God. Every time I go on vacation, it's so humid, but my skin is just beautiful. I look great with no makeup on, but when you're here, it's just chapped. Your makeup is flaking off. It's god awful.
Poor thing. Well, mine's sweating off, so I feel ya. I literally have sprayed deodorant on the back of my neck. That's how hot it is.
Ooh.
Yeah, girl. That's a secret trick.
Well, let's kind of catch up as to what happened last week. Caroline, do you want to just dive in?
Yeah, we had a massive turnout for our masterclass. So thank you so much for everybody that signed up. We actually had 76 people sign up, which is so crazy. We didn't really even know how many we were going to get at first. We were thinking maybe 20 to 30. So the fact that y'all showed up and showed out, we're so grateful for it. That spurred a lot of AI visibility chaos in a good way. So during the presentation, we went over this thing that we created, which is the AI visibility score. And what prompts you to figure out exactly what your score is to sign up for an AI visibility report with us. So we've been busy, buried, doing all these reports for people. And it's such a good thing. It's really shining the light on how they can improve getting recommended by ChatGPT and also showing up on Google.
And I want to add to that is that it's not just a report that shows you like where you're standing. We're actually giving you copy and paste ideas like what to put into your homepage, what to put in your about page, blog post structures and content. So it's way more than just a report. It's copy and paste ideas that you just literally give you the report and you just go and run with it.
I think on average, the reports run something like 30 pages. We did one recently that was over 40. So
yeah, it's so deep. I love it though. And everyone in the wedding vendor industry has absolutely adored it. What did I say? It's like, I felt like you guys did a lot of the heavy lifting for me, which is incredible to hear because, again, these copy and paste ideas for you guys to just implement yourself is incredible for your business.
We've gotten feedback too that it gives people direction with their business. They've got the creativity part of it down, but they just need the strategic guidance. So that's been really helpful too.
And the next episode that we're going to film, we're going to be actually live together because Caroline is unhinged and she booked a flight from Costa Rica to Calgary just literally on the whim. I was like, taking a nap and I woke up and she was like, I booked a flight. I'll be there on December 8th. I was like, what?
I was like, I hope you've got couch space for me. I hope you don't have anything planned.
Nothing planned at all. There's an extra spare bedroom for you. So don't worry about that.
Perfect. I'm so glad that our friendship is just so cool like that. We just meld together. So I'm excited to see you and see your whole life there in Calgary.
I'm excited too, but you're saying for such a short time. It's like 48 hours. What am I going to do with you for 48 hours?
Bro, we're going to do all the things.
I need to squish you and I need to kind of plan where to
I'll
take
come
you.
back again.
Yeah, you'll come back again. But Caroline's going to be in the shock because she's coming from Costa Rica, hot, humid weather to absolutely frigid cold. So that's okay. We got winter jackets, gloves, scarves for you.
I don't think I brought any winter attire with me. So yeah, if I could borrow a coat from you, that'd be perfect.
Welcome to What Couples Want, a podcast about actually figuring out what couples want in the wedding vendor industry and showing you guys how to implement it and market yourself to get in front of them.
We have a spicy topic to dive into that we're super excited about. Today, we're going to dive into the 5 signals that AI looks for and what most vendors accidentally ignore.
So most vendors obsess over the homepage design, but ignore the signals that actually make AI trust them, and we're going to be diving deep into that.
But first, let's talk a little bit more about that masterclass because we're going to include in the show notes a way that you can watch it, even if you didn't attend.
We uploaded our masterclass on YouTube. You guys can go ahead and check it out. It's really, really informative. We go over the foundations of building like a good AI visibility. We're showing you how to implement all the SEO on your backend, on all of your website, what are key features to look on, like your Google My Business profile, how to actually optimize it. And then We also go over blogging as well too.
There was a lot of big aha moments that vendors had. Some of those included what factors go into scoring, what the AI visibility score is, and that it exists. By AI visibility is the new SEO, and the full replay is included in our show notes.
We actually go over each page slide. So there's different categories when it comes to getting ranked. There's low, little, medium to high. We kind of go over what's happening in the low. Like most of you guys are going to be in the low section. You have a fairly optimized site. You're kind of on social media-ish. And then we come you over to at least little stage or the medium stage. Caroline, do you want to talk about how to get to like the high stage where you're actually getting recommended about what? Like, is it like 40 to 80 times?
It's an insane amount. You're pretty much getting recommended every single day. So the high is when you're AI famous, and we're probably going to do an entire episode on that at some point. But those would be your vendors, like Jose Villa comes to mind. Really, the celebrities in the wedding world would be at that level. But the level just below it, the medium level, that's truly obtainable for pretty much any wedding vendor out there. We've had one person go from low to medium within 30 days. Now, they did have our help and we implemented all of the recommended steps for them. So if that's something that you'd like to explore, we're going to include a link in our show notes as well. It is possible to get fast traction in a short amount of time. You just have to be really dedicated to all the details.
Now, if people actually want to get into the medium score level, what things do they have to do?
Okay, so at the medium level, your score is going to be anywhere from 76 to 85. You've got clear citation ready entity signals. Now, that sounds like a lot of jargon, but what it really means is your name, your niche, your location, and your services are super clear across every single thing that you put out online. Not only that, you have a fully structured SEO and schema across your website. Now, that also sounds like jargon, but essentially there's special coding that you have to implement in order for AI engines to read it very clearly. It's written in their own language, so they dive into that first. Another thing that you have to have is fully strong content that proves that you know your stuff. So that means that you're posting consistently blogs about your particular service that you provide and all different angles of that topic. You can get creative. We had somebody who put a therapy angle on it. We had somebody else who put an embrace who you are angle on it. You just really have to figure out what's unique to you and put that spin to show what you provide. Next, you also have to have real features and mentions from trusted places. So that means that you are getting published, and every publishing really reinforces your authority. And then if you're mentioning friends and other vendors that you like to work with, that boosts your authority as well. If you have a robust image ecosystem, that really takes you to the medium level. So that means you're including alt text, photo titles, captions, and you're adding image schema to every image. It sounds like a lot of work, but it really does pay off. Last but not least, you're really providing up-to-date information that shows that you're active and reliable. So the more that you're posting on your website and on social profiles, that shows that you're really invested in your business.
I'm just going to pull up this like Reddit post here. So, since you guys all know, ChatGPT is taking over the wedding planning industry. People are searching on ChatGPT, finding their photographers, finding their florists. There's actually someone who wrote in Reddit titled ChatGPT Wedding Inquiries. I've gotten a handful of inquiries recently that said that they found me through ChatGPT, which is amazing. I usually spend about $1,000 a month on Google Ads for leads. This is exciting, but is this happening for anyone else? So commenters below are saying, yeah, I'm getting recommended as well, even though I'm not putting money into ads, which is, yeah, this is pretty crazy. So it is happening and there is starting to get traction. We actually have one person here who was like, unpopular opinion, but holy hell, I would not want a client stupid enough to use ChatGPT to find their wedding photographer. Just my opinion. Which is funny. I'm laughing and giggling at that because like a commenter below is like, well, clearly you haven't been paying attention to the shift that's been happening the last 24 to 36 months. If you intend to continue doing this career on your own, I would highly recommend you humble up a bit and start getting up to speed on how search is moving to social and LMMs for the current next generation of brides.
Yeah, the heck? That sounds like that was a boomer in the comment section. No offense to boomers.
Yeah, but it's true. It's pretty amazing. A lot of people here are like, yeah, I'm getting found on ChatGPT as well. I actually booked some clients through ChatGPT. ChatGPT. So again, guys, this is the future. People are going onto chat. And some people are talking about schema as well too. So schema is something that we talk about in our masterclass that you could watch on YouTube. It's this code that you have to implement onto pretty much every page of your website. What that does is that it's a full written code and index and direction for ChatGPT to really recognize what your business is, what your prices are, where you're located to properly recommend you to those clients.
Now, is that something that clients would see on your website, that schema?
No. So what it is like it's just like this hidden code on the back end of your website so clients don't see it at all, which is perfect. It's only Google and AI engines being able to read it.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Kind of like when people used to do those hidden keywords and change the font to match the background.
Back in the, what's it called? MySpace, Sanga,
Yeah,
all of those, the glory days, the simple days.
those are so much fun.
But so much. And yeah, these like schema codes again, we provide all of this in our visibility report. So if you want that schema code, just learn more about it on our website. It's really awesome.
So, another hidden secret is signing up for Bing Webmaster. Now, if y'all don't remember, Bing is actually Microsoft's version of Google search. They've got their own thing. And what's not really spread around town, but actually exists, is that Bing is the backbone of a lot of these AI search engines. So, essentially, ChatGPT uses Bing as its primary search. Now, it'll go and reference things on Google, it'll come in from the outside and search through Google, but it's backed by Bing. So one of the things that you can do to easily boost your visibility score is signing up for a thing called Bing Webmaster. And again, we'll put the link below in the show notes, but it's your shortcut into ChatGPT's brain because what it does is it allows AI to recognize your brand just by signing up for an account. So you sign up for an account, you set it and forget it. You can do more with it, of course, but that's a little bit more technical. The first thing that really helps out is just signing up for the account. Now, speaking of putting out blogs, we go into during the presentation exactly how many blog posts you should be posting if you're not getting published in magazines or other places on the internet. We do provide 14 blog topic ideas for you that you can screenshot. And if you follow us on Instagram, every Monday we post on our story blog topics that our clients didn't choose, so they're available for you to use.
Blogging is not dead at all, guys. We say this over and over. We're just going to keep hammering this. It's so important to keep blogging. It just allows for more content for ChatGPT to skim through and recommend if like you're photographer or florist or whatever, you actually know your shit. So making sure that you have all this fresh content is really important.
And not only that, we also do include a checklist for a fully complete optimized blog post. So that's another thing that you can screenshot and our little gift to you.
So let's kind of talk about like the 5 signals that AI looks for that most wedding vendors ignore. These signals are really good to know to always kind of refresh your content and always make sure that it's clear for ChatGPT and Google to really understand. But these 5 things are: 1, clear speciality. What that means is like, what do you actually do? You can't put any huge fluff when it comes to what exactly you do, especially for your H1 tag. You need one H1 tag per page. So say if you're a florist in Austin, make sure you say that you're a florist in Austin, making it really clear. Number 2 is clear location. Now, we kind of harp on this a lot.
There's actually a really good example of location that popped up recently. We've got a really dear friend who lives in Charleston, South Carolina, US, and is going to move next year at the end of the year to Atlanta, Georgia, again in the US. So they reached out to us and they asked, what exactly should be the strategy for me when I know that I'm about to move? I don't want to lose my brand signals in Charleston, but I also want to start building for Atlanta. So we recommended that they continue to post about Charleston things, but the tagline should be serving Charleston, Atlanta, and the Southeast. And then slowly integrate more and more Atlanta things, have a good mix, have a good balance, and then getting closer to the time that they're going to move, start to drop the Charleston stuff and then add more Atlanta stuff. So here's the thing. AI cannot recommend a vendor if it doesn't know where you actually work, but you don't want to confuse them by adding too many things. It's a kind of a fine line to walk, but it's very important because this is one of the biggest blind spots for wedding vendors. So here's some of the common issues that we see. Website says absolutely nothing about what city you live in. It's okay for people that have been in the game for a long time and have lots of referrals because they work worldwide. But leading up to that, you really need to say exactly where you're from. Here's another thing. Instagram bio says based wherever love takes us. That is not searchable. It's really cute to say, but people aren't going to discover you in that way. Put a footer location on your website. Put what service areas you have in your Google business profile. Add your city to your metadata, which is that structured special coding you put in the back of your website.
Number 3 is consistent listings and making sure that your name matches everywhere. Now, what we mean by that is that making sure that you stick with just one brand name. Like, for example, us, North and South Agency is our Instagram name, North and South Agency, our TikTok name, Pinterest name, Google My Business name, making sure that all of those names are consistent exactly everywhere. We actually did a report for one person. Caroline, do you remember?
Yeah, that person, her brand name is her first, middle, and last name. And there was some places where she thought it'd be easier to shorten it by doing first and last. And no, that actually messed with her visibility. It provided inconsistent brand signals. So you have to make sure if you start with something, you have to stick it all the way through.
Examples of inconsistency for us. So North and South Agency, North+South would be inconsistent if we're using N+S, also inconsistent. North and South Marketing Agency, inconsistent. So again, those are just examples. You can get actually confused with a different business that has a similar name with you, and that's why they're picking up both signals and being like, okay, this doesn't match. I'm confused, so I'm not going to recommend you. So to humans, it looks like cute that we shorten our name every now and then in different platforms, but to AI, again, it looks like separate businesses. We want to be consistent as possible. Just to reiterate, an exact brand name spelled the exact same everywhere across every platform. Same with your address, your titles, and like the category that you're in. We need to really make sure that there's clean data, that AI is confident enough to really recommend you.
Number 4 is strong written content, not just posting pretty photos, even though it's tempting to just do that. Google cannot read your photos. AI models can't see your photos. So the only thing they can see is the words explaining them. Wedding vendors that solely rely on posting photos that are not optimized are likely invisible to AI because AI literally has nothing to read. So what AI wants to see is blog posts, service pages, FAQs, long form written descriptions, clear page titles, schema, and alt text. All that gives you depth, and depth leads to credibility. Credibility leads to recommendations by ChatGPT. That's the formula. So if your entire website could fit inside one Instagram caption, AI has nothing to work with.
We actually hopped on a discovery call with a photographer for a website yesterday. And she showed us this one website by a videographer, and that website was beautiful. It was minimal. It was like giving luxury, but it was just photos. And now she was like, okay, if I create my website like this, where it's just minimal luxury, like those top tier wedding vendors who just have photos just to kind of explain themselves and barely any copy. Am I going to get recommended by ChatGPT? And our answer was no, there's a fine line. So what we recommended to her was, let's just start off with this minimal, pretty website, but we still need to add copy, all those headline text, blogs, and fully built out service pages to get found on ChatGPT. And then once she starts getting bigger and her referrals just carry her through, she doesn't have to worry about actually marketing herself. We just told her, like, you could just minimize everything, like remove most of the copy, just place photos. So again, there's just a really fine line, especially when you're starting out. Like, you want to make sure that your website's built out as possible, but there's just the top tier people who are like in that luxury market that can just get away with just posting a few photos onto their website and an inquiry box, and then that's pretty much it. Like, no pricing or anything whatsoever.
Yeah. Don't you feel like a lot of this stuff is kind of like a seesaw effect? You know, in the beginning, you really have to rely heavily on something, and then later you can like edge off of it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And I feel like we kind of want to end up being like that, right? I would love to work with just only referrals and not have to market myself, but I understand that's just not the greatest way to run your business. For some people, it works.
Well, and another thing I think about too is the people that have been in business for a long time that do only rely on referrals. Have you noticed how oh, bless you. Are you okay?
Down wrong too.
Oh my god, poor thing. Haven't you noticed how like eventually if they only rely on referrals and don't continue to improve their business eventually wanes off for them. Do you agree or no?
I kind of agree. I feel like, yeah, there's agree and not agree because like sometimes you're going to get all those like luxury referral clients, but I guess if you're not in that luxury market, it's going to be totally different from you if you're not able to pivot.
And there's got to be just a small percentage that actually makes it to that luxury market.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's really hard to tap into. You really just have to be getting in the right rooms. What was that one? It was Engage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, things like that would be great for you to attend if you want to be in the right rooms and tap into that luxury market and actually be in the same rooms as these people. You have to have clout when you go to those events and be prepared. I think those events cost like, what was it like one ticket? It's like 10 grand.
Once you consider all of the room and board and the food and the clothing that you need to get ahead of time, it's on our vision board for 2026. We've been talking about it.
Okay.
I've been talking about it. Okay. Do you want to
Caroline's
get
been
into
talking.
this? I've been wanting to go. I don't know why. I just feel a pull to this thing, and I'm spontaneous and whatever. But yeah, I just feel a pull to this, and we've been talking about it, and it's so good that Kim and I have such complementary qualities because she's like, okay, let's make sure that we hit this, and this, and be fully prepared before we go, which is good. I need that. It's better to show up prepared than not.
I mainly just don't want to embarrass myself when I'm there too, right? So I'm just like, how about let's just have everything backed up and looking good before we pull the trigger on everything.
Yeah. So if you're listening, Engage, we're coming for you eventually when we're ready.
When we're ready, we'll get there one day. We'll get there. It is on the vision board. It will happen. It will happen.
Mhm. Mhm.
Speaking of vision boards, do you create vision boards at all?
We did it last year.
Oh, we
Remember?
did. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Did anything in your vision board happen this year?
Shoot, I need to check. I'm sure. Because I mean, I didn't realize it, but I actually did a lot this year. I went to Turkey, I went to Bermuda, I'm here in Costa Rica, I'm going to Canada, and that's all in 1 year.
That's pretty amazing. I
Yeah.
love that.
What about you? Was on your vision board last year?
I create a vision board every year, but I do it digitally because I just can't find the right photos. And like, I feel like chopping up magazines and all that paper just scattered everywhere just sends me into oblivion. And I'm like, this is such a waste of paper. So I do everything digitally on Canva and I just put it on the screensaver of my laptop. So I'm literally looking at it every day now. Like, I'm not like, obsessing over it and staring at it, but I think it sends some subconscious signals to your head. What did I have? I have a laptop that says passive income, which we have hit.
Yes.
Hiking photos, which I've hiked. Some plane photos, been on a lot of trips. I have some rave photos, which I've raved hard this year. I have a photo of the cabin, which is amazing. I didn't know that we would actually score the cabin. Me and
Yeah,
my
tell them
boyfriend.
about the cabin. They don't know.
Oh, they don't know. So last year, this time last year, November, is when we were in talks about this really cute mountain cabin. My fiance, his name is Alex, has a friend who owns a cabin there already, and there's about like 24. It's in Golden, BC. It's about 2.5 hours from Calgary. Oh, he's in this like board of directors, and I guess one person was selling their cabin, and because Alex was friends with this dude, he's like, yo, this cabin's for sale. You need to get on it right away. Because we're out there all the time. We go out there and go snowboarding or we just enjoy with our families. It happened in November and it didn't close until February. So it was just a lot because we didn't have a real estate agent. They didn't want a real estate agent to be involved. And were buying out of province. So we had to jump through a lot of hoops, but we ended up getting it. So that was amazing. There's also actually a photo of a scuba diver on there too. I didn't think that I'd be scuba diving at all this year until like literally just 3 months ago when we just booked a spontaneous trip to the Maldives and then I got engaged. So wow, did not expect that. There's a little photo of podcasting there. Look,
And we're doing it.
and we're doing
What?
it. There's an income goal that I surpassed, which is amazing. The only thing that I haven't hit on there is a first class flight. Like this, it looks like an Emirates flight. There's caviar, there's champagne. That's going to stay on my vision board. That's been on my vision board for the past 3 years. So I'm just going to keep sticking it there so I look at it. But that's always been a goal of mine. I've never flown first class before. It's like a goddamn dream of mine.
That's not too bad. You hit like 9 out of 10, right?
Yeah, I hit a 9 out of 10. I think I need to add crazier stuff to my vision board because when I create it, I'm like, maybe I'll know I'll hit this. So I'm just going to put that there so that I feel better about it. But I need to be a little bit more spontaneous when it comes to it or just more extravagant, just to push myself a little bit more. So yeah, I'm super happy. I did hit it.
I'm happy for you. We could create vision boards while I'm there next week.
Yeah.
We
Ooh, let's
could,
do that. Yeah, we'll create some digital ones.
or we could do it closer to New Year's. We could work it out.
Yeah, or
I'm only there for 48 hours.
there's only so much we could fit in.
Oh, I'm so proud of you, Kim.
Sorry, we went on this side rant.
Oh, yeah. Back to information.
Okay. Number 5 is the final one. Number 5 is the final signal that AI looks for that most wedding vendors ignore, and that's external authority signals. What that means is that if your branding is gorgeous and your copy is absolutely perfect, AI still wants proof. This just validates a lot of credibility that they're scanning for. So they're scanning for a lot of backlinks. Those are links that you put onto your website and then link it to a different website. Directory mentions, press features, like if you've been published with Southern Bride, our favorites. Association memberships, real Google My Business reviews, and citations from other vendors. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to be having press features. That's totally fine. But those directory mentions, what are some directory mentions that our clients use that help?
So, in your local area, there's usually awards for best of. If you're a florist, you should be submitting for best florist in your city. Even if you don't feel that way and you're very humble about your business, that's a huge opportunity for visibility and credibility right there.
For sure. And then tapping in back on association memberships, what that is. If you have an account on the Knot, that's really great. What are other ones? Boho Wedding.
Yeah, Weezery. I think that one they reach out to you to put them on there. And then over the moon.
Carrots and Cake as well. I think that one's free. So if you don't have a Carrots and Cake profile, like just sign up. Just even if you just sign up and have your name out there, your brand out there, ChatGPT is picking up on all of this.
A lot of wedding vendors that we see that shoot these high-end weddings and constantly are booked and all of the good things with their business. A lot of them have hired PR agencies to get them to this level, and having those external authority signals is really one of the main ways that you can elevate your business. Leading up to the moment where you can hire your own PR agency, you have to be your own PR agency. So that means you have to go out and search, and you can even use the AI wedding vendor assistant. It's an AI assistant that really helps you with a lot of things of your business. But one thing that can help you with is recommending publications that you can reach out to that you could possibly get included in their publication.
You guys don't stop applying for press features too. I think that's always, there's a ton of different wedding publications out there. It's worth it to send in an issue every now and then to see if you'll be able to get a feature. Do your best with that. Tell your story, tell the bride's story, because what Southern Bride does is that they'll obviously publish you in a magazine, but they'll also publish you in an article onto their website. That's so important because Southern Bride is like writing an article about you, and Southern Bride is huge, right? ChatGPT loves that. So if they can see that Southern Bride is writing about you, they're going to recommend you as well.
Whenever you do get published, make sure that you at least write a blog post on it. And if you have time to do so, add a publications page to your website and put it on there.
For example, for one of our clients, we created a press page, and it just links to all of her features, all of her directories, like carrots and cake, the knot, so that it's all kind of just talking together. AI interprets most of these as reputation signals. So the more third party validation that you have, the more likely that you're going to be showing up when couples ask for recommendations. This is why two vendors with really similar websites will have a drastically different AI visibility. One has authority signals and one doesn't. But again, you don't have to be this huge big person. Just sign up for those directories and have those backlinks and blog post features.
Listen, most wedding professionals are worthy of being recommended. They're just hiding every signal that proves it. Once your signals are clean, consistent, readable, visibility becomes predictable.
Let's talk about the top 10 ChatGPT search trends for engaged couples for this week. The first one is, we just got engaged. What do we do first? Between December 1st to 10th is this like massive engagement spike. This prompt is consistently one of the highest volume ChatGPT wedding inquiries of the entire year. Sub inquiries underneath that is the first 10 steps of getting engaged. Second one is make a wedding planning checklist for us. And 3, what should we do before telling people that we're engaged? What do you think?
Ooh, I didn't think about the last one, but yeah, I'm not surprised that it's a high volume prompt because I mean, I know somebody that got engaged within the last 10 days. I mean, you've got engaged within the last couple weeks. So yeah.
Yeah, I get it. And then that's so funny that people are getting engaged and then they're like going right into ChatGPT and asking them right away, what are the first 10 steps? Our first thought was, let me please chill. No one asked me about wedding planning, please. These people are ready to dive in. Yeah.
Well, that kind of leads into number two. It's if we want a fall 2026 wedding. A lot of them are asking, is that too soon to plan a wedding? I feel like 12 to 18 months is kind of normal, right?
12 to 18 months is normal. I know so many people who've planned their wedding within 8 months or 6 months.
8 months, 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Are they Canadian?
Yeah, they're Canadian.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of Americans that probably do that too.
I mean, yeah. Well, why would you think Americans take a little bit longer?
You know us, we're a little more boisterous, we're a little bit more loud, we're a little bit more show offy, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That is true. Like, you probably need a little bit more time to plan this extravagant wedding. Canadians are very laid back. And I notice there's a difference. Being a Canadian myself, there's different habits of spending money. Canadians are a little bit more reserved when it comes to spending money, but a lot of my clients are US clients, and man, they love to spend. Caroline loves to spend.
Which is why I'm so grateful that you're my best friend because I need you, girl. I need you.
There's a note down here that says, what month is the cheapest to get married in 2026? It's interesting because in South Carolina, their wedding timeline, like the biggest wedding busy season is what?
It's fall, I would say. Like September is probably the busiest month. The hottest months are the slowest months. So July, it's almost no weddings.
Down here, it's like June, July, August. Those are the peak months here.
That's so funny. It's funny how climate can affect social rhythms.
I totally get that because, oh man, it's so hot in South Carolina. You went to a wedding in August, and how hot was that?
It was hot and it was in the direct sun. And I will tell you, this wedding, the aesthetics were on point. The couple executed perfectly. But I felt bad for the guy that I went with. He was wearing a full tuxedo and we were standing in the direct sun for quite a long time. So we were all, about 5 pounds lighter the next day.
Guys always complain. They're like, it's not fair how we have to wear suits during a wedding and girls get to wear flowy dresses. I'm like, oh my God, do something hard once in your life.
Come see us in the winter, okay, when we're wearing nothing and y'all are all fully comfortable.
Exactly. Number 3 is people are searching on ChatGPT, create a wedding budget for X amount of clients in X city. This is one of the most repeated prompts every December because couples are deciding whether they can afford the wedding that they actually imagine. Examples for that is create a realistic Charleston wedding budget for 120 guests. Another example, give me a budget breakdown for a 25K wedding.
And number 4, how to choose a wedding venue that fits our vibe. That's super essential. I feel like that's step 1 is figuring out the venue. Couples are asking for a vibe-based venue list. So it's a new pattern that grew in 2025, understandably. So You're looking for something unique, not cheesy. Quiet luxury is becoming a trend, and then moody romantic vibes too.
I love that. I think the venue is one of the most important things that sets the tone of your whole vibe.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
get it. I get it. And if you're a wedding venue, how do you market to these types of like variations?
Make sure that you're super clear on what your wedding venue offers and what the vibe is. If anything, just present a vibe in your online presence. So if your website gives a certain vibe, people will be likely drawn to that. As opposed to, we looked at a website yesterday and the website did not match the vibe of the company. Would you agree?
Yeah, not good.
It was not good. So it's super essential that whatever someone coming to your venue feels, so they also feel that in your online presence.
Number 5, compare wedding photographers in X city with X style. Photographers continue to be the number one vendor category. Couples ask ChatGPT to really shortlist for them. So these prompts look like give me the best editorial wedding photographers in Houston. Another prompt would be photographers with candid documentary style in New York. They often ask for pricing brackets and vibes too. So, how do you present yourself as a wedding photographer with this sort of style so that ChatGPT can recommend you?
Well, A, you need to put your pricing on your website. And if you're listed on Zola or some of the other third party vendor sites, you need to make sure you put your pricing on there too. So that's number one. Number two is making sure that most of your written material has your keywords included into it. If you're an editorial wedding photographer, make sure that the images that you put on your website have alt text that says editorial wedding scene or has those keywords integrated naturally. So that way AI engines are super clear on what you provide and what style you are. Isn't that crazy that it's number one? Number one,
That's pretty crazy.
even more so than venues.
That's pretty wild.
Wow.
Photographers, listen up. Okay, number 6. Is it cheaper to elope or have a micro wedding? This one spikes every December because couples start price checking their dream wedding against smaller, more international options. So some prompts would be elopement ideas in the US under 5K or micro wedding planning checklist.
I'd be interested to see how many people will go with eloping or micro weddings versus their dream all out baller wedding.
Yeah, that's true. How many people are
Yeah.
actually doing that?
Because you were saying most couples waffle back and forth between the two during the whole wedding process.
For sure. For sure. That is me. Put me in that bucket. Number 7 is help us design our wedding style slash mood board. Couples ask ChatGPT to define or refine this aesthetic before actually talking to vendors. So the most common vibes for December 2025 is quiet luxury, romantic minimalism, vintage glam, coastal timeless, and European chic. These prompts would include create a mood board for an old money wedding. Another one would be to describe our wedding style based on these photos.
What do you think your aesthetic is going to be? Have you thought about it?
It's gonna be more of sort of quiet luxury, but also bold and fun. I really want your personality to just really shine through for the wedding.
It will. Y'all both got big personalities. It's hard to ignore. Yeah. Number 8. Well, how far out do we need to book vendors for a 2026 wedding? Wow. So it looks like there's a lot of timeline anxiety here in December because couples fear that November is already too late. The questions being asked are when do photographers book up for next year? And is 12 months enough time? Y'all photographers need to put FAQ all over your website if you're not in the luxury segment that say how far in advance they need to book you. Don't you agree?
I do, but then there are some photographers that also have random openings here and there too. But that would be a good FAQ question for sure, or a blog post that photographers can post, even other wedding vendors. And I guess it depends on like the photographer itself. Like if you want like a highly booked photographer that you've been following for a while, most likely you're going to have to wait a whole year to book them. But there are also such great photographers out there that haven't been booked up yet for the whole year. And they're just open to whatever timeline that you put in too. It could be 6 months, it could be 3 months.
I think it also depends on how unique your wedding is as to the availability of the vendor. This is my hot take. So if you're doing a super unique Italian wedding, I feel like vendors are more likely to say, yes, I will move things around and I will go do that for you.
'Cause they're excited too. They're like, "Hell yeah, this is gonna be a great portfolio piece and a challenge for me as well."
Number 9, what questions should we ask before hiring a vendor? Again, FAQ, that's super important. Vendor comparison prompts skyrocket during December. Most search vendor categories this week are number 1, photographers, number 2, planners, 3, videographers, 4, venues. Crazy that that's number 4, and 5, DJs and bands. The prompts would look like questions to ask before hiring a wedding photographer or how to compare wedding videographers.
I think this is so important because you're essentially going through an interview page or interview flow with all of your vendors. And this is something that actually we see this prompt a lot, like questions to ask before hiring a wedding photographer, which is again a great blog post for you to post about. But yeah, it's the couple's first time essentially when it comes to hiring a wedding vendor. So they want to make sure that they have all of the information right up front. Like there's some people that don't really know when they're hiring like a wedding photographer, like asking for their full galleries is crucial, absolutely crucial because they use a lot of style shoots as well. So we want to actually see what the full gallery looks like.
This is another reason why it's actually a strategic move to mention some of your vendor friends that you like to work with. So, say for instance, someone was looking at a wedding photographer and you are a wedding venue and the photographer talks about how they like to work with your venue. Well, that's something the couple's more than likely to get bought in on because they see that y'all already work together. Number 10, make our wedding planning timeline based on our date. Actually, one of our friends made a wedding planning timeline on his website and it's totally free. We can link it below. Couples are asking for hyper specific timelines like we're getting married July 2026. What should we do this particular month? Or monthly checklist for planning a 2026 wedding. I mean, I think that's a cool tool to use.
For sure. For sure. Especially if you're a checklist girly, we want to make sure that like everything is as streamlined and booked as possible, paying that first deposit, checking in. I think checking in is super important with all your vendors, especially if you're doing it yourself. And it's like this is so simple for ChatGPT to create, which is amazing.
The bonus trend that they have on here is should we use AI to help plan our wedding? That's something that people are actually typing in, believe it or not. It's one of the fastest growing questions asked in December 2025. They're not only asking if they should use it, they're also asking how to use it correctly, which shows a shift in the social paradigm. They're going to ChatGPT first. Guys, it is so important that you get all this stuff because that's where your clients are going. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. Just a reminder, next episode is live together. So all the chaos is going to ensue. We're super excited about that. We're going to have a spicy topic that we're going to talk about next week. And if you guys have any questions for us, go ahead and shoot us a DM or write it in the comments because you guys are just as part of this podcast as we are.
And if you love this episode, go watch the Masterclass replay. It's free and it's just going to immediately show you why AI hasn't been recommending you yet and how to flip that fast. Link is in the show notes. And if you want us to audit your visibility score, the AI visibility report link is down there too.
We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a show that we've had on our vision board for quite some time. So we're so excited that you guys are here and supporting us. If you could like, subscribe, and comment, that would mean the world to us.
See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye. Yay.
Hey, that was good.